Please, wake up.
A new world order. We have a real chance at this new world order.
There's a need for a new world order.
Create a new world order.
A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
We needed a new world order.
To build a new world order. Of a new international order.
A new world is emerging. It is a new world order.
When really a new world order can be created, it's a great opportunity.
A world order that I think all of us would like to see.
I think a new world order is emerging.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions.
A new world order.
In fact, we're all going to have to give up a little bit of our sovereignty.
New world order.
The new world order has no legitimacy.
We have gathered here today to do a job. God told and explained to Jonah that the essence of love is to labor for something, to make something grow, that love and labor are inseparable. One loves that for which one labors, and one labors for that which one loves. When we get out on that gridiron, it's what we have labored for all week. I want every man to think about his responsibilities, his role. This is a team made up of 65 players, and it will take a total effort by a committed, dedicated, never say die, never give up group of 65 individuals who have come together as one.
Where we once were, we are no longer a Christian nation.
Because, you know, the financial system is so unstable. It's totally based on debt and confidence in a dollar and confidence in the Fed that they'll always print the right amount of money and they'll always keep the interest rates right and they'll always bail out everybody that needs bailed out, which I think is a total hoax.
That President Obama is using a new litmus test for determining who will stay and who must go among top-ranked military leaders. That test is whether they will fire on U.S. citizens or not.
Yeah, we pretty much at that time, Second Amendment, all your rights, First Amendment rights, pretty much everything is at that moment just interrupted. Yeah.
So you said that martial law suspends their Second Amendment, so I'm not going to, but would you say we would take weapons from people?
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
That's what they do, but I'm saying...
Yes, I wouldn't agree with that either. I'm I believe the Second Amendment. But
okay.
Essentially during a moment of martial, we've lost all control. We're pretty much saying when the military moves in on your street, they are now saying you have no more rights, pretty much you're going inside your house. That's like the worst case scenario. So I'm saying when the way they're not looking at it is really for the guardian used, that's how it's going to be used.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be out there on the street corner and like, hey, you know, we're here. Unless we're like you're assisting with some kind of event, you're not going to be involved in a riot and not really have any authority to do it.
No, you're not going to go knock down doors and be like, all right, I need a shotgun. Here. No. You're not going to like go up to each house and say...
Well, they did that in Katrina, is why I'm asking. And if we're talking about shit hitting the fan, I'm not going to do it, but...
They're not going to do that necessarily. It's more or less like, hey, go in your house. Shut up, stay there. That's what you
do. Okay. Because that's the reason they have martial law in place is it's one of those situations where, like I said, everything's already broken down. It's a last resort to change pretty much your last-ditch effort to put that law and order into that community. That's why they have actual guard.
Okay.
Good question. I think they did that in Katrina, right? They just go and take away people's guns.
Yeah. Which I think is bullshit, but...
You're going to claim your right to the price you hold their hands?
Yeah.
We're going to get political right now.
To do this job, to win this battle. Now, I don't have to tell you the stands of battles with your friends, classmates, your family. Alumni has traveled from near and far. I won't even mention that your lady friends will be watching you. Do you want to let them down? Hell no! Do you want to make a bad representation of Mission College? Hell no! Do you want to lose homecoming for the 4th year in a row? Hell no! Do you want me to lose my job? Hell no! Do you like the devil? Hell no! Well, the devil is in that other locker room. The devil is wearing black jerseys. Can I get a witness? Yeah! I want intensity. Oh, yeah! I want reckless abandon. Oh, yeah! I want you to remember that this is Mission College. Then, by the name of all that is holy, go out there and kick some butt.
To the beginning of this administration, I've had friends within the community talking about how they were brought in and, questioned with people from, more towards the top side, and the questioning resulted in kind of where it was pointing was, do you feel comfortable disarming American citizens? And you can see that now with the shedding of a lot of the officers and stuff like that. It's we don't have the 100% track on it, but, there's a lot of funny things happening within military.
Now that's bombshell, but I want to quantify that. I have Secret Service, FBI sources on record on the air, but also covert sources that are currently in. They say exactly that for 2 years. There is a litmus test where officers from the generals down to lieutenant generals, down to majors, down to sergeant, master sergeants, will you fire on U.S. citizens? And if you say no, you're sent to the worst hellhole or basically kicked out. If you say yes, you're put into special Homeland Security units. Quantify, you're saying people in the community, special warfare community, are saying they have been brought into litmus test meetings.
Yeah.
A shakeup at the highest levels of the U.S. military. A top general in charge of nuclear weapons fired, and this comes 48 hours after another top military commander was
Today, Michael Carey, the two-star general responsible for the nation's 3 intercontinental ballistic missile wings, fired from his command. The reason? Personal misbehavior on a military business trip. This comes just 48 hours after President Obama himself relieved the number 2 in command over the nation's nuclear arsenal over his suspected use of counterfeit poker chips. These follow an alarming string of general officers losing their jobs this year for inappropriate behavior, misconduct, or lack of leadership. 2 Marine Corps generals fired less than 2 weeks ago for not providing proper force protection in Afghanistan. An Army brigadier general relieved of duty for adultery. An Army 2-star general fired for groping a civilian. And in March, a Navy 1-star removed for racially insensitive comments and abusive leadership.
This is the United States of America. Why are you hurting people? If you want to go kill and hurt people, go to Iraq. Why y'all doing this to people? Y'all walk around in riot gear like this is a war. I saw them beating people, people that had nothing to do with anything, just grabbing people out the crowd. There's no honor in that. My mom, my father, everybody has served in Iraq, Afghanistan. Well, I did 14 months in Iraq. My father was in Afghanistan. My mother did a year in Iraq. We fought for this country. I don't come home. I'm in New York City. I am from New York City, and these cops are hurting people that I fought to protect. There's no reason for this. There's no honor in hurting unarmed civilians, and I won't let it happen. Have a good night. Yeah!
I served with Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines as an automatic machine gunner. There's a term, once a Marine, always a Marine, but there's also the term, eat the apple, F the core. I don't work for you no more.
And I'll tell you right now, Homeland Security would kick their butts in a week. What's happening here is we're building a domestic military because it's unlawful, unconstitutional to use American troops on American soil. So what we're doing is we're building a military.
Please, wake up.